Hello there, everybody. In a short minute, I will sit down with Dr. Sambhu, who is the doctor here at this Ayurvedic clinic, and who I have been sort of consulting with for more than a year, and probably more than that actually, but like at least the past year and a few months, I've been in touch with him to seriously consider coming here, and I eventually did. He's a really kind and generous, friendly, down-to-earth person, and I think most people who come here will consider him a friend, and he's definitely a friend. He's a really good guy, and we've seen each other here. He's quite busy because he has 2 clinics, and he's busy, but I will sit down with him, ask questions, relating my questions to my own experience here, and also go into more depth about what is Ayurveda actually, so that you and many others can get some benefits out of my experience here, and perhaps it will sort of provoke or awaken a sort of an interest in this, because it has definitely made a big difference for me, and that's why I wanted to sit down with him, talk. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Please watch until the end, and when you have, or maybe before, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can get more great content and podcasts. This is the first video podcast, and I will do what I can to extract the audio to other mediums so that you can get the audio file if you wanted to listen to it again or when you're on the go. So without further ado, please enjoy this interview on this first episode of Your Unique Podcast. And until next time, may you be well and safe on your unique journey. And I hope this will give you just a bit of inspiration on yours. So ciao for now, and be well. Ciao. Welcome to this first episode of Your Unique Podcast with Dr. Sambhu, who has been the person that I've been in touch with for, I guess, more than a year. To get to Ayurveda. And what is the name of this place?
It's Ayurvedic medicine. It's
Avid.
A traditional Indian medicine called Ayurveda.
And what's the name of your clinic?
It's called Ayushua.
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 Okay. So I have been through a month of Ayurveda and has definitely felt a transformational difference. And I want to use this opportunity to talk to Sambhu more in depth, and also for you as either a follower or a new person who is looking for understanding Ayurveda more, to get a more in-depth idea of what it is about. So and then I can sort of go with the flow in terms of my own experience, I guess, with being here. So what is Ayurveda?
The word means is a knowledge of life, or knowledge, or all the information regarding how to improve all the aspects of life. So what we do here is, in the Ayurvedic principles, is how you manage lifestyle consciously and unconsciously to navigate through life, to have minimum or no conflict. Because life is like a journey. You are on a continuous motion, interacting, going through different experiences. So it gives you all the tools to have less complicated traffic in your life.
Okay. So that's the foundational reason, I guess.
This I put it in a simple terms. What exactly, it's coming to the technical part of it. When a person is born, birth means the first birth of the cell, half from your father, half from your mother. There are 3 energies, which in Ayurveda, first it's called Vata, which means it's the intelligence, the Pitta, which is the energy of the cell, and the Kapha, which is the cell wall and other thing, which holding the intelligence and the energy.
Okay.
So these 3 principles start to control every aspects of life. So when that single cell become a fully developed adult, a male or female, The Vata controls the nervous system, brain, the entire neural network. The Pitta controls all the aspects of energy production, also on a psychological level, your passion, your drive, everything. And the Kapha actually controls your connective tissue, give you a design, a shape. So in a single cell, the Vata and Pitta, Vata is intelligence, as I told you. Pitta means the cell is alive, and the Kapha is the thing. If these three things synchronize, balance, means that you are in a good position in your life.
Okay.
So when somebody comes to an Ayurvedic doctor, what we looking is, we first looking at how the person look. Because each of the Vata, Pitta, Kapha produce different structural morphology or structural identity.
So that's why, based on your experience, you can basically tell what a person
by
needs.
looking at a person, we can see that. So 80% information coming from by looking at a person.
Okay.
So the Vata people are generally thin people. Thin means less muscular, more dry.
Okay.
They are cerebrally active or all over the place at the same time, flexible and so on. Pitta people look like more athletic, driven, competitive.
Okay.
And the Kapha people look more soft, quiet, round.
Okay.
So this is a general, simple way of classifying. So when we see a person, first we look how the person look. Second, we need to know where you're coming from. We classify the land into the same energy, Vata, Pitta and Kapha.
Okay.
If somebody is coming from a downtown area where it's almost 24 hours, a lot of activity going on, or a very fast, quick industrial area, it is Pitta, it's fire.
Okay.
So if you're there, living there, the energy of the land will influence you. If you're coming from a countryside, very quiet in a quiet place, it's more Kapha. So if you're living there, you have different way of seeing the world. You're a little bit quiet, soft. In downtown, you need to get everything yesterday.
Yeah. Rush.
Yeah. Then a Vata place is like it produces a lot of ambivalence. So generally speaking, in a Vata place, people feel not sure. So it is something like a place between a downtown or countryside. So we have Dr. Anna here. I know her so she's from Chicago. So by Chicago standards, the Vata place, there was a place called Cabrini Green. There's a lot of things happening there, so by Chicago, where the downtown is Pitta, and the suburbs are much more, outside, countryside, quiet.
Okay.
Cabrini Green in Chicago terms, now I think Cabrini Green breakdown, they're developing into a big thing, but it's a Vata place there. So in every place, so in a Copenhagen standard, I think it's Christiania, which is more Vata. It's where all the hippies are there. They are kind of anti-authority, according to my information, anti-system, not the typical Northern European, Scandinavian thing. They are a little bit rebel and so on. Yeah. So we need to know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So that's the second information. Third, we need to know their age group, because we classify people into three categories. The first 1/3 in your life, the middle 1/3, and the last 1/3. So the first 1/3 you are growing. So basically it's not the first 1/3, it's from 1 to 16 you're growing. So it's a Kapha period, growth and everything. Then the bigger part is from 16 to 60. That's where you Pitta part. That's where activities, movements, a lot of interactions, experiences all happening.
The main part of life.
Yeah.
I guess.
And above 60, it's Vata. That's where the aging start to kick in. So things are kind of declining. So we need to know which age group we belong. Then we put Vata, Pitta, Kapha there. finally we go through a pulse diagnosis.
Yeah.
Pulse means
Yeah, because when I
usually-
came, your dad.
Yeah,
Uh,
check the pulse.
yeah.
So here you can do it on the carotid artery.
Okay.
You can do it on the arm, on the radial artery, because this is convenient.
Mm.
So you put 3 fingers on the top of it,
Okay.
and you want to know how the blood is flowing into the artery. So you visualize the movement of the blood into the artery.
Mm.
If you are Vata, which means that you are searching for an answer.
Mm.
You're looking for something,
Mm.
because Vata is intelligent, analyzing, searching. Or you're flexible, you're creative. There are positive and negative aspects of Vata. Okay.
Mm.
So then it's moved like a movement of a snake.
Okay.
When you're Pitta, it is like then it beat on the middle finger. Vata, it's on the index finger, the beating. The Pitta, it's on the middle finger.
Mm.
It's like an upward jumping of a frog, which means there's a beating is strong.
Okay.
And the Kapha is like a walking of a duck or an elephant, soft and slow. So you can measure it.
Okay.
Because this we do, because everybody develop a mask.
Mm. Yeah.
So to see through the mask,
We all want to look good,
yeah,
kind of thing.
we all got a mask. So we check through the pulse to see what's happening internal.
Yeah.
So this you cannot cover it. So by this 4 level, we can come to a conclusion. Okay, this person belong to this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Kama. Everybody is a mixture of all the 3,
Mm-hmm.
and one is dominant, one is less.
Okay.
For example, naturally, if you're drinking a espresso,
Mm.
due to the influence of the coffee, you can be Pitta, fiery.
Mm.
But doesn't mean that you're Pitta.
Mm.
But because of the caffeine,
you
you can
become-
be Pitta.
Okay.
You're flying overnight, okay?
Mm.
You're in jet lag. You don't know where you are first day. You are in Vata.
Mm.
And then you sleep, relax. In 2 days, you are normal.
Okay.
When you are in a conflict, you've been cornered, then you want to fight.
Yeah.
That put you into Pitta. So there are different ways in life you
Yeah.
bring Vata, Pitta, Kapha there.
So basically, Ayurveda is to get those 3 aligned. Is that correct?
Three aligned, or in one of them to balance it. For example, if you're in a conflict, to get out of the conflict, you need to balance your Vata to see what's happening around you
Mm-hmm.
to make a good decision. Then in Pitta, it give you 2 information: either fight,
Mm-hmm.
so you can fix it. That means
Right.
do something proactive, interactive.
Mm.
Or if you cannot do it, okay, run.
Mm.
That is, you have to leave the things.
Yeah.
You don't try to fix it, throw it away,
Mm.
get out.
Mm.
So this way you can manage it.
Mm.
So it's not always fixing it. Sometimes you have to let go
Mm-hmm.
things.
Okay.
So then to do that thing, we tell people, okay, follow a lifestyle that involves following a certain food habits, lifestyle habits. Simply say, go to bed early.
Mm.
Don't take any stimulants in the evening, so that keep you high.
Mm.
Things like that.
Okay.
So this we will tell them as a correction.
Okay.
And there's a deeper level, something called Panchakarma,
Mm-hmm.
which the procedure you're going through.
Yeah.
That procedure, because intellectually you know what is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is stupid, everybody know.
Mm.
But the old patterns, habits in their first brain, primary brain,
Mm-hmm.
first chakra, it's so deep rooted. Even if they know it's good, this will always overtake,
Yeah.
manipulate the
Mhm.
pure intelligence.
Okay.
So then when we do all this procedure
Mm-hmm.
to remove those emotional imprints,
Mm.
so it's a detox, which is
Yeah.
divided into physical detox. On the physical part, we do the massages.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like in a washing machine with
Yeah.
a massage, like a hand washing of your clothes
Mm.
with the herbs and everything. Second is we do the dripping of oil that
Mhm.
produces deep alpha waves in the brain. Then we do this thing called Vasti. Panchakarma is a 5 procedures with
Mhm.
the oil in the nose, the enema. Sometimes we do medicine for purgation. So it's 5 procedures I mentioned. So we choose and combine based on your body type to balance it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're in a particular situation, like I told you, you need to get out of it. That's the
Mm.
first priority.
So if we take me as an example, so I came here. How did you diagnose me? I guess, and then how did you see And what do I go through? Like, what is it that you're actually going through in terms of both psychologically in the
Yes.
treatments and also like the different steps?
Yeah, in your body type, there is, we will call it a Vata Pitta or Pitta Vata combination. When I say Vata Pitta, Pitta Vata, which means you kind of alternate.
Okay.
The difference between the Vata and Pitta is very little.
Okay.
And the Kapha part is, next level. So which means the Vata always give you an idea, a perception, what to do next. Then based on that thing, your Pitta want to do it. Or the Pitta, when it's high, Pitta want to do it, that's like doing something without thinking.
Okay.
But then the Vata said, no, don't do that. Because, so your intelligence, which is Vata, giving you an idea to do something, at the same time your intelligence is holding you back. Or in a much more simpler level to explain in your case, the use of accelerator in a car and the brake, which is stopping the car, which is under the control of Vata, because Vata is the one decided to use because according to Ayurveda, the Vata is the only thing the capacity to move.
Okay.
And Pitta and Kapha are sitting on both shoulders.
Okay. Like the devil and an angel or whatever.
Yes. So when this thing telling you both, do this, so you are applying the accelerator and brake at the same time, which means a car cannot move.
Yeah.
So that, in your case, which we explained, it put you into a gridlock, a block there.
Yeah.
So then, to coming out of the gridlock, we need to balance the Vata to see what's happening.
Okay.
Then, how to drive through it by increasing the Pitta.
Okay.
But this thing come there, it start to hold you there. So later when the Pitta start to liberate, start to guide you, move through there. And then the other thing is, which is based on the Vata interpretations, that's come from intelligence. With intelligence, you start to see a lot of things so precisely. And when you see things, you will always see some complication or something negative, which is part of the visual thing.
Okay.
Because when the people are not that specific, they don't see these negative things, which is there.
Yeah.
So you cannot tell, oh, because I'm seeing always negative, doesn't mean it doesn't, you become a negative person. No, there's some negativity is there. So the first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, you are in that gridlock.
Yeah.
Only by the end of the 3rd week, you start to.
Yeah, and that's what I'm beginning to experience now. So, like for everybody who don't know Ayurveda, you basically go through the same treatment every day. Besides,
the format is the same.
The format is the same, right?
Means massage.
Yeah.
In the massage, for you, it's one type of touch.
Okay.
Powders, herbs. Some people we don't use the powders at all. It's too abrasive.
Oh, okay.
Some people we don't use that herbal thing at all. Some people only oil massage only.
Oh, okay.
So massage got so many variabilities there. Then we will do the dripping oil. Some people it's 5 minutes. Some people 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Some people we don't do it.
Yeah.
Some people it is moving.
Yeah.
Some people.
I wanted mine increased the last few days because I felt like it really made a difference for me.
Yeah. Some people the temperature is the temperature of the urine. Some people just room temperature. Otherwise they feel it's too hot.
Yeah.
So it completely varies. Then in that thing we have in the herbal thing there are so many combinations there.
Yeah. And that's after the massage you get the herbs on you.
They're saying that's to go to have a deeper thing. Those are physical hands-on procedures.
Okay.
Then comes the Panchakarma, which is Nasya, putting oil there in the eyes, ears. Then in some procedure we do medicine to vomit. We give the medicine to go to toilet. So here we do Vasti, which is we use oils, herbs, liquids, a different combination of honey through the rectum. So that's what we did in the case. That will be much more powerful and easier.
Yeah. And that's every 6 to 8 days, is it?
It can be from 5 days to 7 days.
Okay. But
there are different sequences there.
But at least once every week or so?
At least once a week,
okay.
yeah. But before that thing we have to call a matravasi, which is a small oil to prepare you to do the big one. You cannot do the big one like that.
Yeah. So that's why you do the treatments, up
Exactly.
until that point. Because so it sort of, it builds up to
Builds
get
up
the big.
and then we blast it.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we start the cycle again. So
Okay.
from there
Yeah.
where we
And is it correct? Because Dominic, who's here, said that it's actually 50% of the treatment, the big anima or the big.
in the treatment, I told you it's vata, it's intelligence. When the intelligence is clear, you know it. So the vata, the vasti, we call the vasti, the procedure, that alone is 50% of the procedure. The massage and all the other procedure is a sub procedure to prepare, to remove the toxins. And the touch always produce different melatonin, serotonin, endorphin, and all the touch related memory in your life.
And then I guess
produce release through touch from another source.
And I guess that's the psychological aspect of this treatment.
Right. Psychological and the instead of talking psychological, we will call the emotional imprints, emotional effect, which is affecting, manipulating your pure intelligence. Then the energetic part, which is we call the masculine and feminine, which part you are using as a part of your survival in a society. Some women they're very feminine, but due to a lot of situation they have to be masculine, which is very negative. And some men are passive and withdrawn, can be feminine. It can be natural, it can be unnatural. So we will see the pathological effect, physical, psychological effect of those energetic scenarios due to circumstances and under pressure, or sometimes somebody have to be masculine. Masculine means that you need to fight back, or things like that.
So I've listened. I wrote a blog post actually some weeks ago about the 3 phases of the Camino experience that I had when I was out walking in Spain, and I've thought about a lot the 3 phases of pretty much anything, and I feel like it's also been part of this experience, where the first part is sort of a superficial excitement of what is this, and you don't really know yet what is actually what you're going through.
It is a triad, trinity, or in another level the creation, starting of an idea, maintenance, how long the idea energy stays, and deconstruction, where it collapses. So everything go into that triad, trinity, or in a vata pitta kapha, in that thing.
Because I definitely felt like doing the second and going into the third week, my ego was really going crazy with impatience and frustration. And, is this working? And da-da-da. And then you begin to understand, very subtly that, you feel like you're naturally beginning to trust the process and also letting go more.
In your case, it was a little bit delayed, which I never saw that will happen. Most of the people, the first week will be very confusing. They question it, what is going on, what I'm doing here, and everything. And then from second week, they start to see how it's coming up.
Because it's been very different the last week or so, and I feel like it's been building slowly. And today I had my last big enema, which seemed to, you said energetically it came all the way up to my stomach, or that's how it felt like it came far
the
up.
liquid cannot come up that far. No, it's an energetic impulse coming up there, because it's your main electrical grid. So when we do that thing, it's almost like a reboot of a system.
So what is the psychology behind the touch? So you've explained that it's to get, because you're actually very exposed. You are laying there naked, and initially your ego, or your sort of, you're very vulnerable in that situation.
There are a couple of things happening here. First is the touch is the one that's shaping you up. And in the touch, it's like when the first cell is born, half from your father, half from your mother. This is your first primary cell. It got 3 layers. The outer layer forms your connective tissue, muscles, bones, and everything. The middle layer forms the internal organs. The inner layer forms your skin and your nervous system only. 2 things from the inner layer. So the skin is actually becoming like a keyboard in a computer. So when you go through touch, the first touch is normally from the mother or the nurse or somebody who took you out from your mom, and then your mom. So from that moment, you start to see touch with safety, security, affection. There are millions of interpretations in touch. Then you go through different interpretations of touch as you grow.
Yeah.
In your teenage, adolescent, adult, and so on. So here, when we go with oil, massage, and everything, we are actually unwinding, releasing, reproducing all those touch-related memory. But all these touch-related thing is actually fogging your vata.
Okay.
So through another touch in this environment, where you're lying down there, and of course, I mean, you can wear an underwear or something if you're sensitive. Otherwise, it's oil because there's a lot of oil. And touching, somebody standing there, massaging you, there's always a power difference there.
Yeah.
So you are kind of exposed, open there.
Yeah.
Also from the touch, it produced the, because we are also changing therapists all the time. So with different therapists, it's not a spa procedure to make you feel like...
No, it's definitely not a vacation.
No. So to please you.
Yeah.
So every touch is a provocation, as a release. So it's going to bring out so much emotion, feeling, sensitive things there. So I tell people, when you come for these things, don't compare with a spa thing.
Yeah.
Or when they connect with certain hotels and all those resorts. Then it's enjoyable, nice things, and they have massages with papaya, massages with many things. But okay, which is all comfortable, nice. It's like a beauty thing. But these things are with oils, powders, herbs. Your body smell will change. You kind of smell interesting, but that smell coming from your body, okay?
Yeah.
Releasing the stuff from your fat cell, fat layers coming out. So you go through so much of exposition or exposing you, and that's what we are doing. Then by second week and third week, it's all calmed down. Also at that time, your dreams, you see different dreams. You have different levels of vulnerability, sensitivity, sensuality. So we tell people then to be in a cocoon.
Yeah, so stay here at the clinic for most of the time.
Sometimes we tell them, okay, you need to go out because it brings them an agitation. So we need to let them go to vent it out to the system, to the society, either by dealing with people or by shopping or running around. Because so much energy come out, you need to vent it out. So this based on the body type.
Okay.
This we will see, those are individual specific.
I made it very serious for myself that I wanted to stay here. To really take it serious and also be part of the process. And it was yesterday was the first time I actually ventured out and just to, buy a few things and see things. And like it was only like 3 or 4 hours, but my head when I came back I could definitely feel that I had been out. I know it's also very different maybe in India than compared to if I had been in my normal environment, perhaps. I don't know.
Even that environment, it will be the same effect.
Oh, okay.
So if that's the case, sometime I tell people, okay, we need to reintegrate back to the street reality. So we are developing a new armor. We're pulling down the old armor, which contains the old memory thing. So that keep you in the past. So when we go through, it's a de-armoring. So you feel like naked, okay? Then the new armor will come back and building up. So in that process, sometimes I tell people, okay, go out, interact a bit. If it's an overload, come in. I tell people to put a sunglass. Sunglass give you a barrier between you and the outside. So it depends again on how much the armor dropped, and the new lighter armor, but don't have any emotional other memory of the past. Otherwise, it keep you into the past.
So the desired outcome is basically, because I've looked at words to describe this, that Ayurveda is kind of like a natural way of becoming natural again, or
become you.
It become you.
Because the customized you, the manipulated you, the altered you under pressure. Okay, that's okay. It's like you're going for a black tie event. In a black tie event, you wear a white thing and you drink the champagne and caviar or something. You don't go there with a blue jeans and a t-shirt and a boot. No, so it is another ambience. And then you go with your friends or sit outside in a restaurant, drink coffee, eating something. So the point is, you're only changing your outfit, but inside is you. So when we go with Panchakarma, you can fit into any environment or any situation. Only thing is, you're changing your outfit only. Your inside is you.
Yeah.
So you're going for a particular event where it carry a particular type of people from that society. That's what I mentioned by a black tie event, where a particular type of people come there, and they're only drinking champagne and caviar and talk about certain subjects. Then you go with another section in a restaurant, somebody in a blue collar area, which is another thing. But your core identity won't be compromised.
Yeah.
Only thing you're wearing the outfit, and you're changing the outfit. You are you.
And that's the challenge for many, at least this has been for me, to sort of be dependent on or take other people's energy to sort of use it as your own, or I don't know how to explain that, but sort of a codependent way of...
This is like you're copying something, which you are not. You're trying to be somewhere or somebody. So here, okay, for the moment, so you are in a situation, and you know very well intellectually, okay, I'm here for 2 hours or 5 hours. That's not going to compromise your identity. So you're wearing the outfit for that, then you're back again.
Yeah.
It's like Anna is sitting here. She's going to Afghanistan. She have to wear the whole thing there with the thing, because that system requires that.
Yeah.
And then she go to Chicago, or she's in somewhere in Northern Europe. She can be in a nude beach. She can be nude, but there's no issue. Her inner identity is still the same. Only thing is, if she's in Afghanistan, she's wearing a particular outfit. Of course, if she's applying that principle of a beach in Afghanistan, it's a conflict. Right. It's a problem. That's a vata imbalance. Yeah. That means your intelligence is manipulating you. Then you're doing something strange there. That got its own consequences. Right. So this is how the intelligence adapt. So sometime by wearing that thing and going through something, you're going to get something very important. You need to go through that particular outfit. It's very important. No, I'm not going to wear that outfit. I'm going this way. No, that means you are conflicting, that's coming from your,
Yeah. So you can say, like, the many days you spent in treatment, you basically get your body washed out with, all the negative or the past emotions. And you have mentioned the trapped emotions, so that when they're let go, the memories will be there, but the emotions will not keep you stuck. The memories will be there,
but the emotions attached to the memories start to go.
Yeah.
Making your past emotionally neutral.
Right.
So the more you emotionally free from your past, you are a new person. Yeah. But the information is there that you went through such and such scenario.
Yeah.
But the emotion attached to it, anger, sadness, won't be there. Otherwise, if it's alive, whenever you see something, hear something, it always go to the archives and it trigger an emotional thing. So you are always, those things happened 20, 30 years ago, still alive in your system, provoked. You constantly get provoked.
So now I've been through, tomorrow is my last day, so I've been here for 30 days. And I've heard that then it's after that the process continues, but how do you explain what's happening? Yeah, the process
continues. Actually, the real process starts when you go back to your reality.
Okay.
So at that part, in that window, first, when you go through Panchakarma, your vata become more and more efficient and activated. And vata is like an accountant. So it's going to tell you what you're doing, what you're giving, what you're getting back. And so suddenly, based on that thing, you start to see, I'm doing something not profitable and other thing. So I tell people, don't do anything like that thing. Don't make any major decisions with your job or relationships or something with the money, because you don't have a plan B and plan C. Because suddenly you're waking up, you're coming out, it's too early to make a decision on that thing.
You have to get used to sort of this new you.
New year and new you, and acclimatize to it. So I tell people the first 3 to 6 months, just do what you do. Don't change anything. Then you start to express the real you. So the situation and people around you start to accommodate the real you before you are behaving like the other person wants. So that's not the real you. So the other people don't know that thing. Other people think this is you. Right. And suddenly when you're coming out, they don't like it. They really hit you hard back. So here you slowly express yourself, get used to the real me, because that's coming after, coming out. Yeah, but this you have to give the time there. We cannot blame other people or situation. It is you showed other people, I will please you. I try to be what you want. Then suddenly one morning you're coming out of your closet, get used to me. Oh, who are you?
And so many others have to get used to you as well. And
Exactly. So you have to give a time for them to manage it. So it is like a soft landing, soft exit, instead of being abrupt, like a hire and fire, like a,
But I guess you're also in a place where you can take that more easily. Is that?
Yeah, the Panchakarma and Vata give you those tools, how to be political and soft, instead of being harsh and abrupt, because that's always a Pitta, push you, impatience.
Be more responsive than reactive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get into all of this?
Well, it's I'm talking a different language here.
Yeah.
So, in my family, both my parents are doctors and traditionally. So I am in that family. So I help my father making oils, herbs. So I know this from my childhood.
Yeah.
Then later, when I start to have Western clients, I cannot use too much of the Indian Sanskrit technical words, and because it sounds exotic, and 70%, 90% of the thing they don't know, but they think that okay, they have this idea. Don't question the guru, the teacher. In India, you have to listen, and they go through all kind of things. So I develop a different language of communication to explain things.
Okay.
Without being too technical or using too much of Sanskrit there, but of course that is the basis of it. And then they are coming from a different cultural background, industrial background. So when you go through this treatment and when they go back, their situations are too much overwhelming for them. In the beginning, I don't know that. Then later I found out that people do yoga, meditation, and many of those things. The first reaction, they go quit their jobs or change the relationships. Because suddenly they see from where the conflict's coming from and they want to change it. But all these people don't have a plan B. So without a plan B, they think that there can be a divine intervention. No. At that point, you have to follow your instinct. You need to know a street is a street. A street reality, street politics, you need to know. Because at the end of the day, it's still human beings with all the situation of a human being. So you have to deal with them. So you have to be practical and simple. And of course, a divine intervention, somebody will come and fix all your thing. It's a good wish. Okay? But at the end of the day, you still have to be responsible for you. So we are giving you the tools and other thing. We are cleaning your window. Suddenly you start to see what is through the glass. Suddenly you think of something else. That doesn't mean that you jump out without any protection or anything. So then you need to know, okay, you need to prepare for it and other things. That's much better way. So that applies to all these Eastern detox principles, even when you do yoga, meditation and everything. Just do your thing. Whatever you do, don't change it. And then gradually start to make a soft changes. That'll be much better. Otherwise, it's one conflict bring the other conflict. And because system is powerful. In America, they will say, don't fight with the city hall. Or there's another way of saying it in Europe, what they call it. Anyway, choose your battle. So if you don't know that, so gradually you know how to manage it. Again, we don't want to end up in a battleground. For what? No.
And I guess that's like, because Ayurveda is what, how many years old, or what's the tradition is?
Officially, it says that the information is passing from mind to mind. And so we don't have any record of that. The first written scriptures based on carbon dating was around 3500 BC, 3000 BC, something like that. So that is 5,500 years back, based on the carbon dating, the scriptures available mentioning about Ayurveda and everything. So we go by that.
So you basically know that this works based on,
of course,
how many years of experience.
How many years and other thing, and nothing changed. Whatever written at that time
It's being
was
done now.
done now. Except certain social, traditional, cultural, political influences went in. So something that changed. This we know as a political thing, because when Buddhism was there was some influence there. Hinduism was there, something went there. To give an example, in Hinduism there's a caste system there. So in the caste system they say, based on the upper caste, the tools we use to heat the oil, it should be in gold. From the lower caste it should be metal, but it doesn't mean that so that based on the social class, maybe the upper class is financially affluent, so they can afford it. So but there's no backup there. It's an economic, social criteria. So those things we can see. It's not part of the Ayurveda. Somebody put those things there. Those are not the pure information. Pure information we know. Yeah, that didn't change. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting experience. Also because I've tried many things, and it seems like this is, it's a natural way of feeling natural again. So you also begin to just understand that many other things related to anything that you really need to slow down sometimes, and you need to be in more of a balance to have a good life.
Put it in a simple way, it's almost like a drug rehab.
Yeah.
Here the drug is your patterns, your habits, which constantly keep you into one territory, sabotaging you and other things. So when we go through it, we are removing those patterns, negative patterns, that is affecting your progress. But then of course it produces such consequences, emotional, physical reactions during the treatment.
So I got here basically because of my friend Anders that has been here, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
And his life changed dramatically, and it has taken me some time to get my act together to come here, but
your real test is coming. When you go back to your reality, back to the streets of Denmark, that's where the real test is coming. So but you'll manage it, because we are removing, and it's a process.
So you have 2 clinics.
So here where we're standing, that's where I make my oils. It's my traditional, my ancestral place. My father is here and other thing. The other place is near a seaside area, because sometimes when people get here, they become too bored and other thing. I need to move them to another location, because we need to change the energy with the treatment to make it. So I change them location, or I tell them, okay, you can stay outside in a hotel or somewhere. So then we have a slight change of sequences there. So this is like a gated community, like a cocoon. Then we need to bring them out, and there are different levels there. Some people it's too early, because it's like they become like babies when we go through the treatment. It's like an infant baby. You cannot throw them into the street. No. So that's how. So there are different levels and ambience locations there, which they have these options. They can stay outside. Some people stay here and there, stay outside and come back.
Not to take this much longer, but so a lot of people is that mouth to mouth mostly?
Mostly mouth to mouth, because I have enough clientele coming that way. So mouth to mouth is a little easier for me. Because they already know, see it.
It also makes the right people come, I guess.
Again, most of my clients, doing it, their friends watching them for 5, 6 years, 7 years. Then at one point, there's no option, because the person definitely look good. I got people who look very young. All my clients look really young. And so their husband, their wife, their cousin, their brother look really old compared to them. So then they come 10 years, 15 years later, because before it's like they have a competition or something going on. Then they come because there's no other way. I mean, I'm not saying not to me, to all the Ayurvedic treatment. There are many clinics, people there.
But that it influences positively far and wide. It's hard to,
Yeah.
like Dominic, who's been here for a long time,
Yeah.
many different times. It's really amazing to hear about his family and how
Yeah.
many things are changing just within his family, even though they have not been here yet.
Yeah. Many of his friends were seriously shocked
Yeah.
because they know this person for a long time and how he is, and they cannot believe that how he changed.
Yeah.
So they're coming because of that extreme curiosity. And then of course you tell them you go with massage. How come massage change you? But of course it's not only massages, there are so many procedures blended together based on it. So we choreograph it here, yeah, based on how the person is.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I will definitely come back.
Your real test is beginning,
Yeah.
and it's not a test. It's like you are re-accommodating back.
Yeah.
Okay, and so be low profile. Watch, observe, do your thing, and then you're already changing. That's autopilot. You don't have to think anything conscious. Yeah.
So, what is the best way to? If we post a link or something, is there a website or something where people can find?
There's a
this or you,
website
or?
there, www.ayushua.com,
Okay.
or my email, everything is there.
Okay.
Or my name is Dr. Sambhu.
Okay.
So Dr. Sambhu Kovolam or something. You
Yeah.
type it, it comes up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, there are good doctors there. I mean, so an Ayurvedic treatment is very good, and but based on the traditional way of doing it and other thing, my suggestion is come with an open mind.
Yeah.
The first 1 week, 2 week, you go through a lot of scenarios. Especially you need to accommodate to the living conditions and other thing where you're coming from,
Yeah.
Which is there, and it bring the real tribal primal part of you. So from a sophisticated gentleman, gentlewoman, you're becoming real primal tribal person out. So all the demons are coming out.
Yeah.
So just
And
deal with it.
And I guess that there was a point you talked about earlier in the process where that you need to feel what you have felt before as the last time or something, where it comes up and you feel it, and because it releases into the system.
We observe it because during the treatment, every 4 to 6 hours you're changing.
Yeah.
So whatever you feel in the morning is different from evening. So we tell people just observe it.
Yeah.
And it will not kill you, but you feel like, oh my God, that's what I said. It's like a drug withdrawal, and somebody going through. So then we gradually shift. So the first 1 week, some people react very fast. Some people it's a smooth process.
Yeah.
It depends on what you've been through in life, how much encounters in your life, how colorful you've been through your life. Yeah.
I related a lot to the Vasana, the 10-day silent retreats. Do you know about? And then I related a lot to my experience there, because you learn to observe and release. And during the process, I began to understand that this is actually what's happening. So it made it a bit easier the last week and a half.
The one main difference is we are touching you.
Yeah.
So that touching do so many levels. It's a penetration, invasion, going deeper, and at the same time start to bring all the agitation like a hidden minefields, which is hiding there like a hidden ammunition. So we need to shovel it out.
Yeah.
So which is the hands-on procedure is always good, of course, and again, compared to Vipassana, it's much more comfortable because somebody is massaging you.
Yeah.
So you are being passively moved. So you don't go through that me and me only. Of course, Vipassana is a very powerful procedure, but because of massage and touch with the warm oil and other thing, so there's a fair share of comfort element there. At the same time, you are releasing things.
Yeah, I think we have been all over. Is there anything we have not covered, you think?
No, I think pretty much we covered every area. It's an interesting process, and it's very smooth at the same time very deep.
Yeah.
The effects are far-reaching on your emotional, professional, energetic, personal, intimate areas, levels.
Is there a difference between doing Ayurveda here in India and then other places in the world, or is it? Can you trust that the process is the
here? The
same?
advantage is there's an economical advantage.
Yeah.
Climate advantage, heat. Because when I do the the treatments in Europe, in Northern Europe and other thing, I have to melt the oil. I have to put, because the body temperature drops.
Right.
So I have to put so many heater fans, and then they jump into very cold weather, there's a shock. So there are so many things to manage it.
So it's a bit easier to do it here or in a warmer
Much
climate.
easier and other things. So my suggestion is, of course, I do this procedure exactly
Yeah.
in 8-9 countries. So I know the experience and the results are good. And whenever we do it in your actual location, that's like everything hitting you on the face.
Yeah. There must be a stronger maybe experience or.
Yeah,
different.
but always you know, I'm from here. I am more closed here.
Okay.
You from Denmark, you are more closed in Denmark. Anna is from Chicago, she's more closed in Chicago. So for everybody, generally speaking, when they go out of their location, they are more open because the location where they're born, living, got an invisible chaining effect. They're controlling it. So when you're out, you're more free because nobody's judging you and other thing.
Yeah.
So that's an added advantage of getting out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then, of course, you're looking at all the other logistics, and
Yeah.
then what is there? So my suggestion is it work in every location, everywhere. But doing it in a place like India got definitely lot of advantages because you are away from your territory. That itself is a therapeutical anyway. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I appreciate very much everything
It's
that
a
I've
pleasure,
gotten here.
and
So
it's a pleasure to have you here. And thank you for the talk.
and we'll see if there's. Well, this can be a part of your marketing, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for watching this first episode of Your Unique Podcast. It means a lot to me that you went all the way through. If you have an interest about Ayurveda now, have questions, want to get into touch, get in touch with me or Dr. Sambhu or whatever it might be, then please let me know in the comments or write me a message on Facebook or whatever. The links are below. If you want to get in contact with Dr. Sambhu, you can do that through me or whatever. I'll also put the website link underneath here. So if you have any questions, then you will definitely find the answer through me or Dr. Sambhu. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. It will mean a lot to me because a lot more content and information and whatever else is coming on my personal journey through this beautiful life. And if I can help you in any way, please let me know. So until then, may be well and safe on your unique journey. Ciao.